what's up out there, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, what I'm gonna be doing, now, I've already washed it. I washed it yesterday. I washed it after I first got it, and I gave it a really good wash and a decon. I gave it another decontamination yesterday. I did more of like that and more of like a strip wash because I wanted to get this thing all the way down. And the reason why I want to do that, I've strip washed it, I've clay barred it, I put a synthetic clay on it, rag on it, and I also used a clay bar on some of the spots that were like really kind of hard to get off. But I got them up to where I want them to be. Today I'm going to be working on the hood. So today I'm going to be using two of my favorite items on the hood. First, I'm going to be using the Maguires Ultimate Compound, which is right here. Okay, this stuff costs like 11, 12 bucks a bottle in the stores, and I'm telling you now, it's every bit of worth it. It is really good compound. I like it. I love it. And after I use this, I'm going to be using the Maguires Mirror Glaze Swirl. Okay, so after I use those two, I'll put those on it. And the reason why I'm putting those on it, I'm not putting any wax on it. Okay, I'm using the compound and the swirl remover. Okay, the swirl remover 2.0. After I finish that, I'm going to be putting a ceramic coat. I'm doing a ceramic coat on the hood and on the hood only for right now because that's all I got time for right now. I'm in no rush to get anything done, so I'm going to be doing it on the hood. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this hood off and I'm going to put a tape line straight down the middle of it. And let me get a close-up and show you what it is I'm talking about. All right, so let's get in closely on the hood here. And if I can get this up right, there we go. Now you guys can see, I want you to look right up in there. You can look and see there's a lot of different scratches and stuff on this side and on that side. And there are a lot of different, you know, those spider, those swirl marks and stuff. You can see it. I mean, they're all over the car because whoever had the car before me, it was an old lady, my understanding. But look at those scratches. Look at those scratches in that hood. Can y'all see them through the light? So what I think I'm going to do, this is the worst side over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the worst side. I'm going to start on the passenger side. I'm going to tape it off. This is the side I'm going to do. I'm going to get this side over here buffed out. Like I said, it's already been washed. It's already been strip washed. It's been decontaminated. It's also been clay barred. And I mean, the surface on it is smooth, real smooth. But now we're going to get this thing polished out and we'll see what it looks like. So on this one, I'm using this old Warrior buffer that I got from Harbor Freight some years ago. I mean, I barely use it because I got other ones, but I'm going to use it. I mean, it still works, you know, so if it works, you know, some buffers, they say work better than the other ones. A buffer's job is to do one thing, and that is to polish out a vehicle. That's what it does. And if it's spinning, and the pad I'm using, this is a medium cut. This is a green medium cut pad. So I'm going to do about 4 little dollops on this like this. And like I said, I am using the Maguires Ultimate Compound, which is good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up at the top. Okay. Get this in place. Now, the only thing I don't like about this buffer, what I don't like about it, it's heavy as shit. It really is a heavy-ass buffer. So, and I always start off on a real low RPM to get me going here. Now this thing is really kind of, it's one of those kind, it's not very comfortable to hold. It's heavy and it jumps all around the place, but you know, it's what I used when I first started detailing. I first started using, you know, stuff like that. And it's done its job. It's done what it was supposed to do for me. And one of the reasons why, like I say, I didn't turn it all the way up because this is not heavy cutting I'm using. I only do heavy cutting is if I have to do some wet sanding. If something has to be wet sand, then I do some heavy cutting on it. But we're going to see how this comes out right in this area. Okay. That over there. Now, see, I got a couple of spots that are like heavy marring spots that are right here and right there. And I'm going to concentrate on that. But this time I'm going to use my better, and I'm going to use my 3-inch buffer just to hit on that and see what happens. Now, I want you all to know that when I'm using this, when I'm using my buffers, I never take and put pressure down on these things, because you do that, you're heating up that panel. And what, you know, I'm telling you, I've been there before. I've done it before where I heated up the panel and burnt that clear coat off of it. And in some cases, you'll burn some of the paint. If you burn down past that clear coat, you burn through the paint as well. But I've been there, I've done that, and you know, when you know better, you do better. So let's use this one this time. See if we got this off. And you know what? That came off. The marring spots came off of it. They're gone. That's what I'm talking about. So, what does that tell me? Wow, much nicer, much nicer. Now, it's one that's still right up in here at the top, but I didn't concentrate on that. I concentrated on the other one. So, you know, I'll fast forward this through this, and you guys can see what I do. But I am going to continue to use the same buffing pad that I was using before. All right, so that's the passenger side. We got that side done, and I want you to take a look at the lights. Those like the lights right there in it. Now it's still a little foggy because that's what compound does. It's not gonna make it crystal clear. That's when you do polishing afterwards. But I want you to take a look at those scratch and those marring spots that were right there, now gone. Take a look at that side and look at that side. You see the difference between that side and that side? Okay, let's take this tape off. You can get a better look at it. That's where the tape was. Hope you all can see that. As we move this over to that side, from that side to that side. Okay. So now I'm gonna get the other side buffed out, and once I get the other side buffed out, then I'm gonna show you which ceramic coating I'm gonna use on it. So I got the entire hood all polished out on both sides. Okay. Compound polishing off. That's it. Okay. Now, before I put any type of ceramic spray coat or whatever, I'm going to use the CMX surface prep. Always use a surface prep whenever you're doing stuff like this, because it gives a surface prep does. It gives whatever you're putting on there, it gives it the best chance for it to act like it's supposed to act. Okay, it gives it the best chance. So this stuff's supposed to, takes off and removes any grease, any oils, any waxes, stuff like that. But there is no wax on this vehicle. There is only what I have compound out. And the thing about it is, you can see that this stuff, when you put it on, it kind of flashes like isopropyl alcohol. If you don't have this stuff here, if you don't have a surface prep, you can put alcohol on it to prep your surface. Your surface, not your service, but your surface. Give it a couple of sprays. Don't need a whole lot. Take your rag, just wipe it across it. That's all you got to do. Like I said, it gives you the best chance for the best kind of coating that you're going to put over. Whatever kind of coating it is, it gives you the best chance. Now, I was a little bit torn between what I was going to use. I was thinking about using the 303, the nano graphene spray coating. It's good. I've used it. Okay. It's like chiseling off paint to get it to come off of it. The stuff good. It's good. It works. But, putting it on is not the easiest thing in the world. Okay. And then I thought to myself, well, why not just put a pure graphene coating over it? This is pure graphene ceramic, pure graphene ceramic coating. Why not put that one on it? Okay. I said, okay, well, you know what? I put that on, and I got that on my wife's car, and it's been holding up. And hers is going on now. It's going on close to a year since it's been on there. And I'm going to do a year in review afterwards just to show you at the end of the year that this stuff's still holding up. I decided to go with my favorite. My favorite is the Adams Graphene Ceramic Spray Coating. This is my favorite. The reason why this is my favorite, because this stuff goes on so well and it comes off so good. And it's got great, it repels the water so great. I mean, you get great bubbles out of the water when you hit it on it. I mean, you know, those hydrophobic bubbles turn people like me on. I love to see it when water hits a car. I love to see that water, the bubbles just bubble up. I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world, okay? Because I love cars, all right? So this is what I'm going to use on it, okay? Using this right here, I cannot use the spray top. The reason why is because, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it is crystallized up and it will not squeeze. That lets you know, that's the ceramic in it, lets you know that it's working. If you have any type of ceramic spray and the top on this after using it doesn't crystallize up from the stuff on it, then it's no good. So I use a nice clean microfiber cloth, and I just do dots and spots of it just like this, okay? Hope you guys can see it. And what I do is I go straight across it just like that, and I make sure that I got enough. Now start from about right here, come up this way, come back down that way, come back down, and I'm gonna go to the line of the hood, which is about right here. That's as far as I'm gonna come down with it. Then I'm gonna come this way with it to ensure that I got some good coverage on it. Okay. And, you know, do yourself a favor. If you're working in an enclosed area, make sure you got a mask on, man. This stuff is strong, man. This stuff is like smelling sauce. You know, it can really be strong on you. Now, it says on here to leave on for about 1 to 2 minutes, and it'll start to rainbow, which it does. It starts to rainbow. Okay. The last time I put some of it on, I left that stuff on for close to 5 minutes. Kind of regret it because it made it a little bit harder to come off. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I remember the area I stopped in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right next to it, which is about right here. And therefore, the top half of the hood is done. And this is the top half from there to there. And I've even heard that some people, it doesn't hurt, where you can go with 2 coats of this stuff on. It's not going to hurt it. As a matter of fact, I think it'll give you more protection. It's the same as you get, this stuff is the same as you get in the little small bottles. The pure graphene, the only difference between it is this is the other stuff in the small bottles is concentrated. It's super strong. It's the same graphene stuff, but it just got a little bit more, it's got more water added to it. So it's diluted. It's diluted, but it is ceramic coating. So we're gonna let that sit for a couple of minutes. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to enhance it. Anything I'm trying to do. I had a guy once that bought his car to me, and he told me, he said, what he wanted done. He said, I want all the scratches taken out of it. And I asked him, was he out of his mind? Okay? So, because the thing about it is, you'll never get every scratch out of a car. For me to make a car totally scratchless, I'd have to keep it in here, and it'll take me a couple of weeks because you'd have to do small section by small section. Okay, and not only that, but wet sanding has to be done, and maybe even some touch-up paint has to be done to get every scratch out. We're not looking to get every scratch out. I think that most people go up and down the street and look at cars and not looking at it to count how many scratches in it. How many people are looking at them to see, oh, well, that's got scratches in it, so it's no good. No, no, no. They're looking at the overall keep of the car. They're looking at how it shines. I get that a lot of times. I've been getting that all my life about my vehicles, you know. How do you keep it so shiny? How do you keep it looking so good? Well, I maintenance. That's the reason why. I maintenance it. All right, guys, let me say this, you know. The thing about it is that when, you know, products that I use, you know, I don't spend a lot of money for them. I try not to. I mean, what sense does it make for me to go and to buy say a gallon of some type of car wash soap, some shampoo? You know, I don't like washing waxes. I like the car shampoos, and I like regular soaps. Okay, what sense would that for me to go out and pay for a gallon of that, some $75? Doesn't make much sense, you know, because I'm in this business to make money, and you know, I got some clientele, but I don't have that type of clientele, you know, where I'm doing these I'm not doing $500,000 cars. I'm not. So I'm doing a lot of people's everyday drivers, their daily drivers and stuff. So it makes sense for me to go to places like Superior, you know, and to find different types of soap. Like I just got some Griot's Garage car wash down there, and I found it on clearance. And this is a 64 ounce, I believe, a 64 ounce bottle of it down there. I got it on clearance for like $8.99, and that's therefore I can get more cars out of it. I mean, if I go, I mean, you know, like I said, there's always there's some new stuff that's out here. I'm not calling no names, you know, I don't drop no names on anybody. There's this new stuff that's out here that I see all the so-called professional detailers are all grabbing it and putting their name across it and advertising it, talking about how great it is and all this here. And they're doing that so they can get their subscription numbers up. I get it, okay? All right? And then some of them also doing it because they're all in this click thing together, you know, where they tell you, well, I wouldn't use any of that stuff, that cheap stuff from Walmart. I only use the PNS. I only use Coach Kimmy, stuff like that, the expensive stuff, you know. So, you know, when we detail a vehicle in the same way with them in mind and me in mind, they can do one and I can do one, and you can put them side by side and ask, can you tell which one used what type of chemical on it? And you are not going to be able to tell, because the majority of the way a vehicle comes out is the elbow grease that you put into it. The time, the blood, the sweat, and the tears you put into it. That's what matters. That's what's going to come out in it. So I can use some of the cheapest stuff in the world. Some of it's you know, you know, like some stuff, you know, there's some Armor All stuff I don't use, and a lot of people don't use it. But, you know, the regular consumer buys it because, you know, the stuff is inexpensive and it washes their cars. It does. It does the job that they want it to do. So they use it. They buy it. It does the job that they want it to do. So I'm not one for jumping on one of those bandwagons, you know. I don't know if you all remember this or not. I'm going to tell you real quick. But see, back in the 70s and actually early 60s, late 60s, early 70s, they came out with these porn stars, you know. There were a bunch of porn stars. And all these porn movies they came out with, the people had the most fantastic bodies. The girls were slender with big boobs, and everybody was perfect. The guy had the Adonis looking bodies and whatnot, but they were all acting. And what happened? Watch the movie Boogie Nights and it'll tell you. Watch the movie Boogie Nights, it'll tell you. And what happened was amateurs came along. And when amateurs came along and started doing amateur ones, people went like, hey, I don't want to see them professional do. I want to see real people do real things, because these people in those professional porn actors, they were acting out scripts. So people saw the amateur stuff and liked it better because the amateur was real. Okay, not saying I'm not an amateur detailer. I'm a professional detailer because I do it for a living. That's what makes me a professional detailer, is because I do it for a living. Okay, so with that being said, you know, when you come to my channel, you're gonna see real stuff. If I could find if there's something in there where I can show somebody how to do something to get something done and do it your way, like Phil Miranda does. I love Phil Miranda and the way he lays out things. Doesn't go by what the naysayers go. Okay? He does things the way he does things. Me, I'm gonna do things the way I do things, okay? And I like that. That's one thing I like about him. Anywho, getting back to the situation at hand. Finished with the hood on the Cadillac, the Adams Graphene ceramic spray coating. Man, I've done a couple of videos on this, and I'll keep on doing them on this. Adams, this is some great stuff. It really is. I wish you'd send me some. I really do. I use it. I keep using it, seriously, because I like this. I like their car shampoos. I do. I like Adams car shampoos. I like the iron remover. I use the Adams iron remover. The stuff is really, really good. It's not as expensive. Now, this bottle here, when I first bought it, cost like about 40 bucks for this bottle. Okay? Now, a bottle like this will get you through what? 25 cars, maybe? Because it doesn't take that much. Get you through about 25 cars. So, with all that being said, got it done. Hope y'all like this video. Please hit those like buttons, hit those subscribe buttons. I'm constantly, now like I said, I just did the hood today. It's going to take me some time to do some of the other stuff. I've got a alternator that's coming. Okay, when I get the alternator, I'm going to record that and show you how I'm going to put the alternator on. Like I said, because somebody out there may want to know how it's done. I've learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know by watching other people's video channels, especially a lot of amateur stuff. And let me give me a shout out real quick. There's a guy is down in Mississippi, and I think that's where he's from. Well, his channel's called Mississippi Wrenches. Look at this guy. He's doing body work. He doesn't have that many subscribers. A lot of people don't watch his videos. You watch what he's doing, and this guy does a damn good job what he's doing. He's got Mississippi Wrenches. Check him out. Seriously, support him. He's one of them kinds of small guy. He's doing it, I guess, at his house, at his little shop or whatever, just like I'm doing it, and just trying to survive. We're not the big powerful names like some of the other big powerful names out here that are all friends with the other big powerful names. We're the small guy. But you know what though? I tell you what, there's a scripture in the Bible that says that in the last days or whatever, that the first will be last and the last will be first. Peace. See y'all next time on the channel.